Is this thing on? Checking. Hey friends, welcome. Come on in for final Saturday morning. If you've been following along, you know we're talking about debut albums this season, alright? And this morning, we are working with just a classic by the Jimi Hendrix Experience, their debut record, Are You Experienced? Ask yourself, are you? Are you really? Let's get into it here. Jimi Hendrix, okay, guitar phenom, obviously, alright, arguably one of the coolest human beings ever to walk the earth. Debut record here. This was released in spring of 1967, alright, so which was a fantastic year for music. This was a landmark debut album. I mean, it has since, been on the list, countless lists of best albums of all time. It includes some of Hendrix's most well-known tunes, many of which are on lists of the best songs of all time. You've got Purple Haze, Manic Depression, Hey Joe, The Wind Cries Mary, Foxy Lady, just bangers. And keep in mind, he was 25 when this came out, and it blew up. It was immediately successful, commercially, and just culturally as well. I mean, this thing is archived in the Library of Congress for its, cultural significance. It's just amazing. 25 years old. And keep in mind, 1 year prior to this album, 1966, Hendrix was having a hard time making it as a musician. A lot of managers, producers, they didn't see his potential as a musician. And so they wouldn't work with him, wouldn't sign him, wouldn't record him. It's crazy to think about now. Anyways, though, this album, like I mentioned, just has some bangers on it. It really helped fuse some more psychedelic arrangements and sounds with more of a hard rock and also some kind of jazz elements too, which now has been done by countless bands. I'm getting really excited about this, if you can't tell. But just a pioneering album. And for something like this to be your debut album, so young of an age, and to release something that just completely blows up, takes the world by storm. That's pressure. That's got to be pressure on a young kid. But anyways, he followed up his subsequent releases just phenomenally. But yeah, he's doing this album with Mitch Mitchell, who I think is one of the most underrated drummers in rock music. So if you're not too familiar, highly suggest you going back through Hendrix's catalog and check out the drumming on a lot of these tracks. Really incredible stuff. And then Noel Redding, really solid bass guitarist as well. So he's playing with these guys. They cut this album in something like 5 months. Portions of the recording were a little hectic. Hendrix was playing with like a double stack Marshall amp, huge, and he just basically would refuse to turn it down. He'd be recording so loud in the studio that they'd pick up other noises, rattles, and things like that from the equipment around, and just how he would roll. They would mic him up. They'd have a microphone completely on the other end of the studio from where he was playing guitar, because it was that loud. So pretty amazing. This track, though, this is the one I wanted to highlight off the album, okay? Because it's definitely an outlier on this particular album. Okay, this is called May This Be Love. It's on the A side of the album, and it is a slower, kind of more ballady very soft, pretty song, which is in contrast to more of the harder, kind of more driving songs on this album. The solo Jimi does on the song has been called one of his most lovely and lyrical. So we're going to check that out here in a second, but great tune, and really nice lyrics too. That's something a lot of people don't talk about. You talk about Hendrix's amazing guitar playing, but he had some phenomenal lyrics too that, were just ahead of his time, I think, ahead of his age, beyond his age, being so young. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let this song play out. This has been the Jimi Hendrix Experience, RU Experience, on Vinyl Saturday morning. Friends, thank you for coming along on this ride, on this journey with me. Until next time, take care.